Well, shalom and welcome to the Roundtable Talks. My name is Yeshaya Gruber, and I am delighted to be joined today by Professor Ishay Rosen-Zvi, who teaches Rabbinic literature in the Department of Jewish Philosophy and Talmud at Tel-Aviv University. His many publications include Demonic Desires, Yetzer Hara, and the Problem of Evil in Late Antiquity, Body and Soul in Ancient Judaism, and with Adi Ophir, Goy, Israel's Others and the Birth of the Gentile. Ishay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Shalom, Ishaya.
Thank you. And, there are so many interesting ideas in your work. I don't want to give too much away at the beginning, but I will say that you see Paul as a central figure who in some way has given us certain key rabbinic ideas, if that's not too much to say. I know you don't say that exactly, but I just want to give people a hint that you see him as someone instrumental in the idea of Jew versus Gentile that we have even today. And so my first question would just be, how can this be? Most people, when they think of the idea of Jew versus Gentile, Israel versus Goyim, they would think of the Tanakh and the Torah and the separation of a chosen people from all the other people on earth. So how could that not be the origin of our idea of this dichotomy?
Exactly. So the first question to ask is, when was the Goy born, right? I mean, the concept of the Goy. And Adi Ophir in my argument is that contrary to the scholarly assumption, it's not even like a thesis, because it was just assumed that Goy was always there. Actually, we do not find a kind of ripe concept of the Goy before the 1st century CE. Now, let me explain what a ripe concept of the Goy means. It means that every individual in the world is either a Jew or a Gentile. Now, we may not know, but that's an epistemic problem. But in principle, every man and woman in the world is either a Jew or a Gentile. So it's a total binary dichotomous split, right? Binary split. Now, there is nothing natural or obvious about it, right? French or German or British people do not have one concept for all those who are not them, right? The Greek did, okay? So it's a cultural specific kind of division that we wanted to study in its specificity, right? And so we started. We didn't want to do the history of the Goy. We wanted to do a kind of I would say a cultural, phenomenological, political analysis of this concept. But we started, we said to ourselves, we'll go to the library, we'll find, 5 books and 15 articles on the history of the concept, and we'll continue from there. But to our great surprise, we didn't find any. I mean, historians know how to historicize concepts, right? To do history of conceptions, right? There is a great book by Shaya Cohen called The Beginnings of Jewishness, right? On the concept of Jew and Israel, and there's histories of the concept of Torah and etc. But we didn't find histories of early of the beginnings of Goyishness, okay, in parallel to the beginnings of Jewishness. So we said first, okay, there is something to it. I mean, maybe this kind of omission is not accidental. And B, we said, okay, so let's do it. And what we found out is that there's many ways that Israelites and Hebrews and Judeans and Jews, made distinctions, but they did not coalesce to this one mega binary total distinction before the 1st century CE.
What Bible do you read, and how do you know it's the right one? There's only one version of the Bible, right? It might surprise you to learn that Bible translations led to many versions of Holy Scripture. Long ago, translators interpreted the Hebrew Bible, ensuring it would be enjoyed in many languages. But when they encountered Hebrew words they didn't understand, translators relied on their individual cultural context and used different words with different meanings unrelated to the original ones. This led to Bible versions that lacked the full, beautiful, original explanations becoming part of our history. That's why when you join our online classes, you'll get back to the source of the original Hebrew Bible to uncover hidden meanings. Get back to the source. Join our online course today, where the treasures of the authentic Bible await you. Click on the link and register to start your biblical experience.